Dr. Brian Sims earned his bachelor's degree in psychology from Florida A&M University in 2001. He earned a master's degree in social psychology and a doctorate in education and psychology from the University of Michigan in 2006. Dr. Sims's research involves college student learning and motivation, as well as factors that affect minority achievement, such as racial identity. Dr. Sims recently joined the faculty here at North Carolina A&T and is serving as co-advisor for our Psi-Chi chapter, along with Dr. Susan Schumacher. Originally from Chicago, Dr. Sims is a faithful yet discouraged Cubs fan, and in his spare time enjoys reading and hip-hop journalism. He and his wife, Shania, live in Greensboro with their brand new baby boy, Brock. Please join me in welcoming Dr. Brian Sims.
Thank you, Kiana. Welcome, everyone. First of all, thank you all for coming out. It is very encouraging to see the support for academic accomplishment in higher education, and really great to see you all here today. I promised President Miller Santana I would keep my remarks brief. After all, the point of today is to celebrate the accomplishments of the young men and women that you see before you. So that won't be very short. As Santana said, Psi-Chi is the National Honor Society of Psychology, founded in 1929, for the purposes of encouraging, stimulating, and maintaining excellence in scholarship and advancing the science of psychology specifically. Psi-Chi functions as a federation of chapters at over 1,000 colleges and universities across the country. So the induction ceremony that we're all participating in today is a momentous occasion. I think that these inductees deserve another round of applause. I did want to make a couple of remarks today about the world that we all live in. It's said often that the world around us is changing. The world is changing. The world is changing. We hear it so much that oftentimes the saying has become somehow seemingly so cliche that we don't even think about what that means anymore. I'll give you an example. The other day, I had a 20-minute, intense, deep, thought-provoking argument with my wife about our garage door opener. Now, to some of us that might not seem crazy. I mean, married people argue. After all, that's what being married is all about. If you don't know, you will find out shortly. But to me, it was. And somewhere in the middle of that argument about a garage door opener, it hit me. Is the world changing? I mean, is it really? Not the world as in Afghanistan, but the world here, the world around me. My world is definitely changing. Okay, getting married, finishing graduate school, having a new baby, starting a new job, on the last 18 months has helped me to see the inevitable, and that is, the world is not so much changing as much as I'm changing. You see, ladies and gentlemen, the world out there, the world right outside that window, is almost exactly the same as it's always been. It's a mistake to believe that it's any different. Tomorrow, kids will get up and watch Saturday morning cartoons the same way they did 20 years ago when I was a little kid. Tonight, teenagers, some of you, will go out and party the same way I did 10 years ago when I was a teenager. This weekend, young adults will go out and use their good credit to borrow themselves into oblivion, buying all sorts of wonderful things with the promise and smile to pay it all back in full someday. So you see, it really is all the same. I'm the one who's changed. The reality is that it's 2006, and even though I'm all grown up, even though I'm all grown up, I'm still paying for stuff that I bought in 1999. Did you know that today the housing gap between white and African American consumers is the same as it was during the 1960s? Today, the testing gap between white and minority students is approximately an entire standard deviation, the same it was about 40 years ago. Racial and socioeconomic disparity exists in every single major indicator of mental health and well-being. And at this moment, much of our world is engaged in war. Deadly conflict rages not only in the Middle East, but in Darfur, where the World Health Organization estimates an approximate 450,000 deaths thus far, with terms being thrown around in the media like ethnic cleansing and genocide. to South and Central America, and at this very moment is looming even right now in North Korea. Species are disappearing at an alarming rate. Rainforests are being cleared, the ozone layer is thinner than it's been. And a global oil crisis is being predicted for the not too distant future. Now, if all of that wasn't news enough to ruin your day, according to the Food and Agriculture Organization, more than 840 million people worldwide don't have enough to eat. Okay, and that was 2003. Current estimates place it at over 900 million. Now, inductees, I don't want you to think that the world is changing. Fortunately, things out there are bad. They're bad, they're bad. It is we who must change. And today we're here to commemorate that change. But our commemoration is only symbolic. If the only thing that changes inside each one of you is the fact that you can now put Psi Chi on your resumes and your applications for graduate school, then this commemoration will have been for naught. You see, becoming a member of Psi Chi is exactly like getting a job, exactly like buying a car, or graduating from high school, or any other accomplishment. It's not the accomplishing, it's what you can do differently that makes all the difference. It's how you change that counts. Now, no one interviews for a job, gets the job only to stay at home. No one buys a car to continue to ride the bus. No one graduates from high school only to return to that school the following semester. The point is that your accomplishment enables you to change. Okay, I'll say that again. Your accomplishment enables you to change. Now, all of you have high GPAs, exceptional GPAs, in fact. Lots of fancy awards and scholarships and the like, and that is wonderful. It is. I believe in my heart that each one of you will go on to great things, to accomplish even more. But if all of your hard work does not allow you to change, then that hard work was for nothing. Now, let's put that in historical context, because I'm sure that none of us here would argue with the fact that all of us stand on the shoulders of those who've come before. Inductees, many of your accomplishments were made possible through the sacrifice and hard work and sweat on the part of your parents. And for that, parents deserve an applause themselves. Parents, many of your accomplishments were made possible because of the hard work of civil rights warriors who sacrificed their freedom, their livelihoods, and in some cases, even their lives, so that future generations could succeed. I challenge you to never forget the hard work of those individuals any more than you would forget the hard work that you've already poured into your academic careers. Because when you do, you run the risk of one day waking up, finding yourself arguing about something as meaningless as a garage door opening. Instead, I challenge you to use your talent and your intellect to investigate and explore that bad, bad, bad world that I mentioned before. Because if there's hope, it lies in each one of us, each one of you, in fact. With leadership becomes responsibility, and whether you like it or not, you're now a leader. Congratulations on your accomplishments, and welcome into a prestigious brother and sisterhood of scholarship and psychology.